to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to The Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's a special edition of the Changing Stage radio show, powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in Internet talk radio. And this is a special edition because this is a Girls Talk Rock edition. We have Tracy Smith here, who's going to be my co-host for today. Yeah. And we have the amazing, fast Freddy Robinson in the house. And we also, part of the reason why we're here is we have our sponsors, some good friends of ours over at California Music Studios. Right, Trace?
That's right.
Yeah, with Jennifer, she has amazingly provided us some great space up in her complex over there in Encinitas to do our Radio Band Diego show. I got to watch out for that. Sometimes I switch them around. Anyway, of course, then we've got SIR, Music Equipment Rental. I don't know, Fred, if you've been on tour, but SIR is the one who probably provided all your gear or your back end gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows them, and we're blessed to have them. They help us out.
They make it so much easier.
They do. They make it easy. You don't have to think about it. You need an amp, they've got it. You need drums, they've got it. And then you go on tour. But the cool thing is they also do corporate stuff, too. So if you need lighting, if you need PA systems for, your Bill Gateses of the world or whoever it is, they'll provide that. And then, of course, Pitbull Audio at pitbullaudio.com, where they are providing all the gear for all the young hipsters and everybody else who's rocking out. They just want you to play it loud, like Fast Freddy Robinson.
They are amazing.
So, Freddie, we're blessed. You've been able to take some time out of your schedule. You were on tour. You played last night here in San Diego. It was like standing room only, crazy crowd.
It was a good crowd. It was fun. This is a fun band.
Yeah. But you were, well, let's kind of do this before we start into that, because I want to talk about a little bit about that. Let's kind of start off with Fred. Where did you get this passion to start playing music?
I just had it early on. I just loved music. Always loved music. I started with drums, actually.
Okay.
My father was a drummer, and my brother is a drummer, and just started playing drums, and then went to guitar from there.
Yeah.
And I've picked up pretty quickly. By the time I was in high school, I was playing pretty good guitar.
That's pretty awesome. I think because you were playing some funk earlier, and you have to have that rhythm mindset to be able to play that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna get. Hey, you guys got to stay tuned for the third segment. He's going to be jamming around. You're going to get a chance to hear one of the best guitar players around jamming today.
Well, I'm going to play some guitar for you.
Yeah, for sure. So you were playing. What were the groups like that? What kind of music were you playing? What was inspiring you at that time?
My biggest inspiration is The Who.
Yeah.
Pete Townsend, Pete Townsend's just an incredible writer, and he's been my biggest influence.
Yeah.
And I like all kinds of different. It's kind of is a setback for me because I like so many different genres, of music. I like pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And right now, I just go through phases. Right now, I'm really into funk. I'm really into a lot of the old school 70s funk.
We were talking about that. A lot of people said it was, disco sucks, man. But
I had a shirt that said "Disco sucks."
But what was your?
I'm gonna make some shirts that say "Disco does not suck," because it doesn't. It's really hard music to play. It's really good music.
Yeah. Played
by really top musicians.
It is. It's a challenge because you have to have that rhythm thing that you did. So it's kind of cool that you had the drum experience that you did to kind of bring you into that. So you started playing. What part of the country were you at? Was that Arizona?
I grew up in Tucson.
Okay.
Yeah. And moved to Phoenix.
Okay. And what was the scene like at that time? What were you guys into?
Back then, AC/DC was huge when I started really getting serious.
Yeah.
And the band I was in, we were in high school.
Long Way to Rock, if you want to rock.
Yeah.
Long Way to... Oh, I messed that whole line up. Long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. I'm not awake this morning, man.
I'm still on.
You wouldn't know about rock. You're a disco man.
That's true. That's how I do it. That was Paul Barazeski, my producer here.
That's great.
And
man.
kind of
That's great.
funky.
Yeah. No, I learned that from School of Rock, so that's kind of where I got my line from that. No, I'm just joking. I heard that song. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's
you,
all right. No, I'm.
AC/DC, we're.
Everybody loves AC/DC. That music just rocks. It just, we were. I was a freshman in high school, and we were, we had a bunch of their songs down.
Yeah.
And so, we played parties and we played school functions and stuff, and it's just been so fun. Music is just so enjoyable, and AC/DC just rocks,
Yeah, exactly. They do. But kind of funny thing is, about that time, then that's when Metallica came in and just like changed the whole scene of rock. At least where in my hometown of San Diego, or Sacramento, they were just like, see, I'm getting confused again. It was just crazy how that sound was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was just a new sound. It just kind of hit. Just their sound. To me, it was the sound, the crunchy guitars, Metallica. I'd never heard
fast.
Yeah, and the double bass and stuff.
Because AC/DC kind of kept it real with a little bit more traditional bluesy, but ballsy kind of
basic, just chords,
but in great melody. So I feel you on that, and that a lot of people kind of have a affirmation to that. When did you start getting into some of the other genres of music that have inspired you?
As I got older, I just I started listening to just all kinds of different stuff, everything from bagpipe music, with marching band. I really liked that. Bagpipe. I started trying to incorporate some of that in my leads. Some of that kind of sound, the bagpipe thing, and really kind of touched my heart.
Awesome.
And that for everything from that to country to jazz to fusion. I like so many different types of music that it just kind of pulls you in all these different directions. And
when did you get your first professional gig, and what was that like for you?
The first, you mean professional as in the first time I got paid?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it was out of high school. I joined up with a band called Rip and Tear, and I didn't even know we were getting paid. We played a club, and we were all original.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and it was we had like 20 really. I think I can say there's really good originals, and we.
What kind of sound?
We were kind of an '80s hair band, type of sound, And we had a real good singer, real melodic singer, and he real good writer, Jimmy Seagraves, and we played the weekend, and then we were loading out, and I'd never made any money, and he came up to me and just started counting out 20s, and paid me $200.
Whoa!
And it was a lot. Yeah, back then
that's a whole lot.
I was not.
That's a lot now.
Yeah, it's a lot now. And, I didn't even know we were getting paid, so I was like, "What is this for?" And he goes, "It's your pay, man." And I was just standing there dumbfounded for like a minute. I just could not believe that I had this money in my hand.
It could have been something worse. You're lucky it was for you playing, right?
Right. Yeah.
It was, hey, the guy back there, he wants to see you for a minute.
But the funny thing is when I told him that later on, he's like, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have even paid you then. But that was pretty cool. And then, I played with that band for a couple of years, and then we were playing. I was playing with that band, and Bob Welch walked in.
Oh wow! Okay.
And he knew the drummer that we were playing with, and from there, he asked. The drummer called me the next day and said Bob wants to jam with me. And that was where. Started going a better direction.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Bob Welch, was a incredible songwriter and an incredible person. Just a real nice, down to earth guy. Although he played all those years. He'd played huge arenas and stuff. And he quickly was real personal. Was a real personable guy, and just I liked him a lot. And it was really sad that he's gone now. But. I miss him a lot, but he was a good man, just incredible songwriter.
Yeah, he's incredible talent. And that's
he
kind of cool.
He picked up a guitar and he would just play, and he could just write a song. Just he probably had over 500 songs just written. Just whenever he picked up a guitar, he would just start playing something unique and new, and he was incredible influence.
Now, how did that inspire your playing?
What we did was. Initially, we jammed together, and it went well. And then he had a 8-track home studio, and so did I. So we'd go back and forth.
Awesome. What was it, a Tascam?
Yeah, I had a Fostex Model 80 8-track with a matching board, and he had an old TIAC.
Yeah.
It was and it was he had the bigger tape. It was older, but it sounded warmer. It sounded pretty good, and so we'd write some at his house, and he had a drum machine, and then we'd write some at my house, and I had drums mic'd up, and I played drums, on a lot of it, and.
Better watch out. Tracy might put you to work here.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
She already has. She doesn't mess around.
And she keeps you fed, too.
Yeah. Yep.
You're not going to leave here a skinny man, brother. I have to warn you right now. So, we got about a minute until the commercial break here. What's one quick thought that you can remember from your time with Bob that you can share with the audience?
We had, he was such a fun guy to hang out with. Him and Wendy, his wife Wendy, she managed the band. Those two were a riot. We went on tour, and never a dull moment. Just laughing. It was probably the funnest time of my life, was just hanging with those two. And she's hilarious. He was funny. We were just always having a good time.
Yeah.
And the band. I don't want to brag, but we kicked ass. I mean, we just went out and just kicked ass.
I would imagine.
And he was a hell of a good performer. I mean, the way he was on stage, he was just command of the stage,
Yeah.
And when he put his guitar down, that's when he really just go nuts. And he was one hell of a performer.
Well, he's definitely inspired you. We're going to take a little commercial break here. This has been the Changing Stage radio show, Girls Talk Rock Edition. Make sure you tune in next Wednesday, because Tracy will be interviewing Bart Mendoza, one of the premier music writers here. Thanks, California Music Studios, for being so great, and we'll be right back in a few short minutes.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Thank you for listening to WS Radio. Improve your business and your life with useful information from experts and thought leaders. WS Radio is radio with ROI.
You may have heard me brag about Progressive Medical Center and just how much they've helped me with my health. And Dr. Goley, one thing that you've helped so many people with is migraines.
Unfortunately, there are millions and millions of Americans who are suffering with migraines and headaches, and they're debilitating because it affects the quality of their life, and they cannot function properly. At Progressive, we get the root cause because we understand that migraines could be caused by nutritional deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, believe it or not, delayed food sensitivities. And once we determine what the real reason is, we put a plan of action together with medication that we get them off slowly, and we put them on an all-natural approach, and the results are amazing.
Incredible. I mean, there's so many people that can say they don't live their lives with migraines anymore thanks to Progressive Medical Center.
And that's what's exciting and rewarding to us as physicians, because we help our patients take control of their health, and that's why they're living well.
Why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today? Don't live in pain. Don't have migraines anymore. Just go to their website, progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life. Live it well.
The Aristocrats, featuring Guthrie Govan on guitar, Brian Beller on bass, and Margot Miniman on drums, are by any measure the hottest new band in instrumental rock fusion today. They rewrote their own rules for their third studio album, Tres Caballeros. It's available now, and the band is currently on tour selling out venues as they make their way to the UC San Diego Price Center Ballroom East on Friday, August 28th. Get your tickets now at www.ucsdboxoffice.com.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com and the Wine and Dine Show on Vin Village Radio. Do you have a wine, event, product, or service to promote? Then contact VinVillage.com to reach thousands of wine lovers across the country. VinVillage connects like-minded wine enthusiasts with unique and exclusive wines, events, products, and services. To learn more, contact us on VinVillage.com. VinVillage is where wine lovers connect. Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
Talk to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to the Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
That's right. The sponsors are taken care of, and we are here on the Changing Stage radio show, powered by the mighty WS Radio Network's worldwide leader in Internet Talk Radio. And this is the Girls Talk Rock segment, and we have Tracy Smith with us.
It is. Hello, everybody. Can't wait to set you up with my new show.
Yeah, it's going to be coming on Wednesday. It's coming up fast, girl. It's going to be happening.
It is.
And, of course, California Music Studios, you guys have taken care of us, and we love you for that. pitbullaudio.com. Just play it loud, baby. Guys. Play it loud. And then, of course, SIR, where all the big players go. So, we've been talking with Mr. Fast Freddy Robinson here.
That's me.
That is him. Amazing guitar player. I'm going to throw this out at Tracy. When was the first time that you guys got a chance to experience the amazingness that is Fast Freddy Robinson in concert?
In concert? Oh, I was going to say when we met, 1979. My husband's a bass player, of course, and we knew all the guys that were hanging together, and my brother was actually an engineer, and he...
Tim Tech.
Yep, Tim Tech. Tim Trent, where you at, Tim? Yay, shout out. We got together with those guys, and, man, it was just one fast ride. He was in a band called Head First, and I think that's really the first time I experienced... like a true concert feeling, 1980, 81, right in there. And, man, it was just hang on for the ride. Strap in.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
That's 79. That just seems like yesterday, but it was not yesterday.
It was last week.
It was last week. Well, that's where you brought the disco in from, 79, right?
Yeah.
That would have been the time. Were you listening to disco at that time, Trace?
Oh, God, no. We wore out the Rush. We wore out the AC/DC. We wore out all those 8-tracks.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 8 tracks. Now I'm dating myself.
Yeah, 8 tracks. It reminds me of the movie Dazed and Confused. I think we all were kind of that way back then. So, in all those experiences, and you've had a few different groups, obviously. One that Tracy got me in trouble with, she said, you got to check out Fast Freddy's, he's in the band Faster Pussy. And that's like, okay. It's named after a cat.
Killer Pussy, yeah.
Oh, Killer Pussy.
Killer, yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay.
So
Lucy Lamode, she's incredible. She's epic.
Yeah.
Performer.
Epic.
Yeah, she's huge.
Yes.
I mean, when she comes out, and I mean, she's just one of a kind. She is
full
amazing.
cat suit.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's very sexy. She's
very it's
lovely.
based on a cat.
Yeah.
So I'm over there, and I researched and did some looking up, and I go to do a presentation, show somebody something, and I start typing in the letter K, and that's the first thing that comes up, and it just looks like I'm searching porn.
Yeah, I know.
But it's definitely based on that. But it's an incredible experience that you guys had with that. That's my personal experience. That was my story of your circumstances.
The songs, every song is like porn. The song is like
it
porn.
is.
It really is. I can't even tell you what the names of the songs are because it's like rated X.
Yeah. But in the cat genre, So you've played with a few groups. Bob Welch, obviously, amazing. You've actually played with. You did a little shredding though. You did a little time shredding. You played with Michael Schenker.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Tell us about that project.
A friend of mine from high school, again, Amy Sugar, hooked up with Michael Schenker in Phoenix. Michael was living there for a while.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and
German boy, right?
Huh?
Originally Germany.
Yeah, from Germany, and they hooked up somehow by fate, and then they went in to record. It's available online right now. It's Sugar Schenker under construction.
Okay.
Sugar/Schenker, and if you spell sugar, same SCHUGAR.
Yeah.
Sugar-Schenker under construction, and it's number one. It's the cool thing about it is the first time that Schenker ever sang on a CD.
Oh, wow.
He did some backups. Yeah. It really, and you can really hear his accent, his German accent. It's really cool stuff. And she's an incredible songwriter and a shredder.
Oh, wow.
And I was lucky enough to, I'd like to say Schenker produced the CD, too. He was the producer on it, and he really knows what he's doing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I was amazed at his skills he made sure that, you know, it didn't go too long before she started singing and had to have a hook. And the work he did was amazing. You know, he's really a knowledgeable, incredible musician.
Yeah, well, they're pretty much seminal, bands.
He's really,
rock and roll and heavy metal.
And to sit face to face with him, and he would kind of hold back a little bit, but a couple times he would open up and play this stuff, and he really is amazing. He's just
he's considered one of the greats for sure.
Yeah, I think his rating is actually like the 19th or 20th best on the planet, and I really think that's underrated. I think he's better than that because he played some stuff that I could not comprehend what it was he was doing.
Yeah, they go based on the recordings, and they don't necessarily look at the other stuff that they might have done. But yeah, what guitar player, Guitar World.
But just when I saw him play, he started just a couple times. He just played some harmonic minor, like it was like Beethoven stuff. Like I can tell he knows how to read, and he's got a real deep knowledge of music theory. Just one of those times where you just drop your jaw and just.
Yeah. Well, so you've played with Pete Townsend. You've been influenced.
I wish I played with Pete Townsend.
That would be great. You've been influenced by Pete Townsend.
I'm on Who's Next now.
And obviously Michael and a lot of other players here. Who do you find right now that inspires you?
Right now I'm inspired by disco, but I feel funny saying that, but it's incredible music. It's the musicians. The musicianship on these songs is incredible.
Yeah.
I didn't know that when I was, back in, I don't know how old I was back then. It was like, 15 or 16 when disco was big. Or no, I'm maybe even 10. I just thought it was disco. I just didn't, now learning some of this stuff, it's like, this stuff is really hard to play. You got to really be on top of your game. You got to have, you got to have rhythm.
Yeah.
You can't just, you can't play bar, there's hardly any bar chords at all, you know. And you gotta step your game up.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. So I like when you see those lists on Facebook and they say who are your top guitarists, and you always see the same ones. Either it's going to be Stevie Ray Vaughan, it's going to be
like
Eddie
Van Halen,
it's going to be obviously Page and all that. In fact, they did a thing where everyone said who are your favorite players, and it turned out to be all four players of Zeppelin and stuff like that. And they're all great players. But what I try to encourage people to listen to, like Nile Rodgers, Eddie Hazel, Jimmy did. That's where Jimmy cut his teeth, was funk, and that's what brought him into it. We had Brian Auger on the show, and one of the things that he said was that all of the players back then, Clapton and Beck and all these amazing great players, they all emulated their styles based on one of the Kings, any of the blues players. So they had a blues play, Muddy Water. But when Jimmy came in, it was just Jimmy. There was you couldn't identify anybody that was, and a lot of it came from him playing with, like all the funk and R&B cats. And I think that's kind of what brought it in. So I think it's cool that you're going that direction.
Yeah, to me, it's just my opinion. But I don't think there's an argument for it. But David Gilmour is by far and away, to me, is the best lead guitar player, the best soloist that ever walked the planet. Because, his leads and all those songs are like a song within the song.
Yeah.
You can't he's not just, improvising through, or maybe, I don't know how he actually did it in the studio, but those are such distinctive, beautifully played leads.
Yeah.
And they're, like I said, the best explanation for that for me is, his leads are a song within the song. He's an incredible. He is the best. To me, he's the best. David Gilmour. Just, and that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I think Paul wouldn't argue with you on that.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah, who's better? Who plays who writes a better lead? And if you play any Pink Floyd, if you don't play those leads note for note, it won't be up to par. He's next level to me. David Gilmour, by far and away.
They're memorable. Like you remember like every note, as opposed to someone like Malmsteen, who you were talking about earlier. If you just do this blast of a million notes, it doesn't really stick with you the way.
Exactly. in fact, Gilmour can do more with one note than Yngwie can do with. And I love Yngwie. I'm not cutting Yngwie down. I'm just saying, but Gilmour can do more with one note than anybody else can do with 1,000 notes.
Yeah.
To me,
it's the emotion, the emotion quotient that's going behind it all. So we got about a minute and 24 seconds. I'm getting all exacting here.
23, 22.
Yeah. Tell us about the guitar you're playing, because this thing is pretty awesome. The Prestige Ibanez.
This is it's Prestige. It's my baby. It's you can tell I play it a lot.
Neck through. You like the neck through flavor?
It's once you get it in tune, it just seems to stay in tune. I haven't tuned it. Didn't have to tune it last night. I mean, I checked it and it was real close. And just this thing is. You got the Floyd Rose-esque, tremolo. Yeah. It's Floyd Rose-ish.
Yeah, well, Ibanez is really good at kind of coming up with their own thing. Yeah, definitely. We're gonna be jamming. I brought that up because we're gonna be jamming here in the next segment. So I want you all to stay tuned. This has been the Changing Stage Radio Show, powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks.
Yeah.
And this is the Girls Talk Rock Show.
Thank you.
Yeah, the girl's not talking much though.
Yeah, she's letting the boys talk a little bit of rock, but she's actually doing.
I'm a good listener.
She's also a multitasker. She's shooting this right now for video for all the web and social media stuff. And again, thank you for everything at California Music Studios, because we essentially, if you want to become a fast Freddy Robinson, you go get in touch with California Music Studios.
You got to get a guitar.
Yeah, you got to get a guitar. Get in touch with them, and they will connect you with the right teacher, because they have the best teachers. This has been the Changing Stage Radio Show, segment 2, and we will be right back in a few minutes. Stay tuned.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
Has your business been appified? Are you tired of doing marketing that doesn't deliver results? Mobile apps build loyalty and quality retention. Your app from UPG Mobile puts your business on their mind and at their fingertips. UPG Mobile will give you a custom app highlighting how you are unique, targeting your message, and improving your open rates. Appify your business and amplify your presence with your customers at upgmobilemarketinggroup.com.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
The Aristocrats, featuring Guthrie Govan on guitar, Brian Beller on bass, and Marco Miniman on drums, are by any measure the hottest new band in instrumental rock fusion today. They rewrote their own rules for their third studio album, Tres Caballeros. It's available now, and the band is currently on tour selling out venues as they make their way to the UC San Diego Price Center Ballroom East on Friday, August 28th. Get your tickets now at www.ucsdboxoffice.com.
Talk to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to the Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
And it's the third segment of the Changing Stage radio show. And we're having a good time. You guys should be in here while we were actually in the breaks, because sometimes we have some of the best stuff during that time too. But we are powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in internet talk radio.
That's right.
And brought to you by SIR Music Equipment Rental at SIR-USA.com, Pitbull Audio at PitbullAudio.com.
Crank it up, baby.
And California Music Studios at CaliforniaMusicStudios.com, where they connect students with the right teachers and make it happen. You can become a fast Freddy Robinson as well. And we've been talking a little bit about your history and all that stuff.
Be rich like me.
Touring and playing with some incredible players. So this segment, we want to do some jamming around. You guys played a concert last night, right?
Yeah. We played
Tuscany.
Yeah, it's a cool place. We just if you want to dance and want to get funky, you want to come see the Funkers.
Yeah. And you're going to be where at tonight?
Tonight at the Coach House.
Coach House, okay. So you're going to be up a little bit up north of us. So if you're in San Diego area, or if you're in
come to the Coach House.
Yeah, if you're over up San Clemente,
San Juan Capistrano.
San Juan Capistrano.
Yeah, all that stuff. That's where they're going to be at, playing and grooving.
Come get funky with us.
Exactly.
I promise you'll have fun.
So, let's start off. Let's do a little musical history. What was like the first song you learned? And then go ahead and jam it out for us.
I like to get funky, you know what I mean? I like all kinds of stuff. I like to shred, but I like to do a lot of just a lot of funky. I love the wah-wah lately. Give me that wah-wah.
Bounce, wow, wow. So you got a good set there. What's your favorite song on the set right there?
Let's see what we got. God, I like them all.
They are good. We might actually have to do some vocals.
I like Jungle Boogie because of that riff. Jungle Boogie, Jungle Boogie. I like that one riff, and I like them all.
Well, go ahead. You were doing Superstition earlier. Let's do something with that.
You sing it? Yeah, baby.
Very superstitious.
Yeah.
Writing on the wall. Very superstitious.
Yeah, baby.
Something's about to fall. I don't remember the words too well.
Got it.
Dear mother, baby, through the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck. Something in the past. And I can't remember the words.
You don't understand.
You'll suffer. Superstition ain't the way.
I love that stuff, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's all. Talking about that, one of the biggest what's one of the biggest challenges to understand funk? Obviously, it doesn't go a lot of progressions and chords and anything like that.
The biggest challenge, was hearing what was going on. I had to put the headphones on, and Joe Marquis, he's the band director. He was like, listen in the headphones, and I did. And it's the same setup pretty much in all the disco bands. I mean, there's two guitars, one in each ear, one guy's playing one thing and the other guy's playing something completely different.
Yeah.
And there's horn section, and Joe Sampley, our keyboard player, he's got all that stuff down. I mean, it sounds just like the
like
record.
the horns. Yeah, exactly.
He's got the horns down really good, and he's an incredible keyboardist. And but that's the challenge of it was, because on certain things, you want to play the main thing, but there's something else going on in the background,
Yeah. Well, I noticed that you've adopted really a great way of playing in the pocket behind the groove, which is typically guitar players like to push the groove.
Yeah,
especially when they're playing funk.
I do. I mean, I'm really working on that because it's easy to get. I get excited when I start playing. And I got to make sure I try to not speed up and push
the groove
forward,
But you definitely have a what they call the grease. You got the feel, So
I feel greasy.
Yeah, that's
nice and greasy.
I got a lot of great friends that are funk and that play with some of the top players, and that's I'm not just saying that, but it's very impressive because that's a lot of times I see rock players will come in and they'll say I play funk, and it's like the rhythms are pushing it. They don't lay back in the pocket. So that's very cool. Play another one, man. What do we got here?
What do we got here? Let's see. We got.
Don't forget too, the name of the band tonight he's playing with is called Meet the Funkers, Funkers.
Yeah.
So we got.
We're just coming out, so it's Meet the Funkers.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's pretty funny. Let's see what we got here.
You were doing something where you're doing a little bluesy thing where you were like singing along with it. Give us a little bit of that.
I got so many different influences, but
was that Muddy Waters or what?
I was playing Voodoo Child. I love that stuff. I love Stevie Ray Vaughan for a while. I was really into him. The day that I'm gone, you're gonna miss me, little darling. The day that I'm gone. I love that stuff.
Yeah, man.
'Cause I'm leaving the morning, won't be back at all. I just love all kinds of different stuff, So I'm just pulled in a lot of different directions.
Yeah. Now there is a direction that is very uniquely you, which is your originals. You just came out with an album, right?
I'm working on it.
You're working on it.
Yeah. It's a work in progress because I have my own studio, and I've got all the stuff written, but I'm remodeling the studio.
Okay.
And
so you have to kind of take a little break to up the ante a little bit.
I'm going to be getting. It's going to come out. I've got it. It's all guitar music.
Cool.
There's no words on it, and so it's different.
Well, play us a little bit of taste. What can people expect?
Let's see what I got. There's so many I got to think of. Okay. I got so many different things. I'm not even sure what I'm going to be putting on the CD at this point.
Yeah.
But
I'm assuming a little funk's going to get in there.
Yeah, there's going to be,
Give us a taste of your reggae with a little bit of roll out the ganja.
Okay. Yeah, I got all.
You can find that online, by the way.
Here's Tracy promoting legalization of marijuana, medical marijuana.
that's a really cool tune. I got it on YouTube under Freddie Robinson on YouTube.
Yeah, just type in "roll out the ganja" and you'll find it.
Yeah, roll up the ganja.
Roll up, yeah.
Roll up the ganja. Roll up the ganja. It's pretty cool too.
Anybody ever tell you, man, you kind of have a little bit of a Todd Rundgren kind of look? Yeah, you remind me a little bit of Todd Rundgren.
Talk about Todd Rundgren. We knew him back in the day, didn't we? He came in, he rolled into Steve's studio.
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of times we talked.
I mean, I was, so young, I couldn't believe it. Was like, wow.
Yeah, Todd Rundgren, yeah.
Yep.
You have
I think he was there buying weed. No, I don't know.
No, he was working with Steve on a project. But
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Same difference. That's what.
Yeah, that's a project.
Yeah, that's a project.
Why don't we go ahead and play a little Brick House out, and I'll try to sing something with you.
Okay.
She's a brick house. She's mighty, mighty, yeah, just letting it all hang out. She's a brick house. She's the one, good like an Amazon. Well, she's a brick house. We're together, everybody knows. This is how the story goes. You know she got everything that a woman needs to get a man. How can she use the stuff she uses? 36, 24, 36. What a winning hand. Now she's a brick house. She's mighty, mighty, letting it all hang out. All right, this has been the Changing Stage, powered by the mighty
baby
WS Radio Networks. And that was awesome, sir. Fun stuff. We'll be right back with another segment with Fast Freddy Robinson.
Yes, sir.
And we are powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in Internet Talk Radio. Our fun folks at California Music Studios will get you hooked up with the right teacher if you're looking. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back. The Aristocrats, featuring Guthrie Govan on guitar, Brian Beller on bass, and Marco Miniman on drums, are by any measure the hottest new band in instrumental rock fusion today. They rewrote their own rules for their third studio album, Tres Caballeros. It's available now, and the band is currently on tour selling out venues as they make their way to the UC San Diego Price Center Ballroom East on Friday, August 28th. Get your tickets now at www.ucsdboxoffice.com.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
I raised $8,000 to build schools for South African children. After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The World Link program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace.sandiego.edu.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation evaluation to get to the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
Talk to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to The Changing Stage, music gear talk from the manufacturers and musicians who define the biz. Here's your host, Florentino Buenaventura.
We are back, and this is the Changing Stage radio show powered by the Mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in internet talk radio. And this is the Girls Talk Rock segment.
Haven't heard from the girl yet.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, Tracy's going to be on here with us. But before we get into that, thanks SIR at SIR-USA.com, Pitbull at PitbullAudio.com.
Crank it up with Pitbull.
Yeah, exactly. They just want you to play it loud. And then California Music Studios with Jennifer and the crew over there. They are awesome, blossom. So, yes. Tracy, you are the queen of scene here. You're starting a new radio show that's all about local scenes, and you're starting obviously with San Diego. You are probably the person that's out in the scene.
She's the amazing one.
Yeah, she is. She's shooting.
She's out everywhere.
Tell us a little bit about what can we expect with your show.
Well, we're going to talk about everything local, and we're going to bring people in from outside the local scene to talk about everything local when they come here to visit. So. First guest is Bart Mendoza. We're going to talk all about the SDMA Awards and a little bit about the history of the show, a little bit about what Bart is currently doing and what he has for the future, because he's really involved in the whole music scene.
Yeah, he is. Sure.
Everything in San Diego, it pretty much goes through Bart Mendoza.
Yeah, really. He's the guy with the pen. The pen is definitely mightier than the sword. In this case, sometimes mightier than the guitar.
It is. So yeah, we're looking forward.
We're
looking forward to that. My second show is going to bring in a musician, a singer-songwriter. He's also working on a film, 48-Hour Music Awards. That's Mr. Rich Varvel. And after that, my third show, we're going to bring in the one, the only shredder in town, Mike Ruggiero.
Yeah.
So we can't wait for him as well. It's going to be amazing.
Awesome.
He is amazing.
So you're out in the scene right now. You're helping Fred get on tour. Actually, you're going tonight to see Hart.
She's really helped us out. Yeah.
Well, okay, I got to drop Fred off at.
She still did the work.
I got to drop Fred off at the show. But then,
she's helping us promote it. She's amazing. She gets the word out.
We've been trying to get the word out there for these guys. We want everybody to get out to the Coach House tonight because the Funkers are
Funkadelic, man.
One of the most amazing bands that I've ever seen, really, when it comes to the disco. If you really like to dance and groove, I'm telling you what, it's totally worth the drive.
It's fun. We're fun. We're a fun band. I'll brag about that. We are fun.
Yeah, they're a fun bunch of funkers.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah. So, Trace, with Freddy here and him having been involved in scenes, what are some of the things that you'll be talking to players like Freddy about? What would be some of the questions that people can expect from your show?
Oh, definitely. Well, we're going to ask them a little bit about their history, of course, who they've played with and all that, how, who their influences are, what's going on in the scene locally, what they're trying to do to push to get themselves ahead, and in this really crazy world and market that we're in right now, and hopefully everybody will give us some really good answers on what they're doing to try and make a mark in the music industry here in San Diego and all around the world.
Yeah, this show's all about communitizing the scene and kind of, and you've been like a hub for this scene. So with that said, what would be that question that you'd like to ask Freddy that people should know about him? Obviously, you know a lot about him, so you probably know what his answer would be. But what would you want people to know about Freddy and ask him?
50 cents.
Yeah, how much are you worth?
I'm worth 50 cents.
Okay, we got a question and answer in there. No, when it comes to going on tour and things like that, I know you've toured all around with all kinds of really awesome, amazing artists. But what do you think is the funnest or coolest thing, and what's the downside to touring?
There's no downside. It's like a continuous party. You're out, you get to travel. I love touring, but there's really there's no downside. People, everywhere you go, people appreciate music, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the appreciation.
What's the biggest audience you've ever played to?
When I played with Bob Welch, we played in Texas. We played some pretty big arenas out there. It was awesome. I don't even know. People. It was just huge crowd, and that's the best high you can ever have is being on stage playing in front of that many people. There's nothing like it.
That's cool.
You're used to seeing the bass player, a couple feet over there on one of those stages, and the bass player is, he's like far away.
Like a mile away.
Yeah, it seems like a mile, But, you're used to seeing him right there. He's way over there, on the other side, and you got to cover your end of the stage. And there's nothing like being on tour. It's the greatest feeling.
That's how those mega bands that can't stand each other stay in tour.
That's how they stay together.
So as long as I don't have to stand next to you.
Yeah. Or even close.
I know that when I met the Police back in their Ghost in the Machine tour, they,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, me and my buddy were driving down the freeway. We went to the back route to kind of escape all the traffic, and serendipitously we seen 3 limousines pass by us, a black one, a white one, and a brown one, and we go, okay, that's got to be the Police. And, the takeaway from that is, we went. I was 16 years old, met him. Sting was not necessarily the nicest guy, but Andy Summers was cool. But I've heard that. Even Andy and Sting will tell you the same story. But really, what it came down to was like, wow, they didn't even want to ride in the same limousine together.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm a people person.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, so am I.
But after you've been playing music with somebody for 20 years or something, I don't know. Maybe it'll.
Well, in their case, then again, they had like 3 or 4 or 5. I think Sting had like 5 girls get out of his limousine.
Oh, that explains it.
Yeah, so he had a little bit more occupied. He didn't need the rest of the boys in there.
Yeah, I'd be rolling with 5 girls if I was Sting as well.
Yeah, well, that's kind of one of the reasons why I think he ended up not married with that first wife. So if you're listening, Sting, I just
we went there.
Yeah,
we went there.
Pulled your face guard. So, so Trace, what can somebody like Freddy coming into town expect from the scene here, different than they say the scene in Tucson that he's from?
Well, the local scene is really hard right now. I'm just giving all my musician friends the same advice, just to get out there, get your name out there, start talking to the club owners, start talking to the engineer, talk to the people behind the bar. You wouldn't imagine who does the bookings for the clubs right now. And if you can get your foot in the door by going over there, being over there a lot, watching, supporting other bands, that's the main thing. If you don't get out there, no one's going to know who you are. If you don't put the word out there as far as promotion, nobody's going to know who you are. So I would say to a band coming in town that you really have to either know somebody that's big in promotion here in San Diego.
You got to be out. You got to get out.
Or you got to get out. You've got to get out and support. Get off the couch. Get out there. Figure out the new music coming into town. Figure out what's good out there. What clubs you enjoy going to because they're cool clubs, and let's just get this music scene built right.
It's great that you guys support local musicians.
We're trying.
What you're doing is needed. It's a needed.
Well,
thing.
For about 4 years now, I've run my blog called PlayCam, PLACAMSD, and it stands for Promote Local Artists, Clubs, and Musicians. And for the last 3 years, I've not asked for any money. I've done this on my own because I am really into music. I really want people to know what's going on out there in the community. It's pretty much a community page. It just allows everybody to see exactly what's going on. Well, through graphics, through words, through their own words. For instance, Jeff Kiesel, he's breaking away a little bit from Carvin. He's still with Carvin, but he's kind of doing his own thing, making his custom guitars and basses. By the way, if you haven't checked out Carvin, they're amazing. And, I like to see that kind of thing. That's what I support. I support the guy at the lowest level. I support the guy at the highest level of the game. If you're a small player, I'll still support you just as much as I'll support someone like a Train or, a POD or, whatever huge group's going on out there right now. So it's really about people needed to support as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we are at the end of our show. Freddie, it's been a very great
it's already
pleasure.
over. Can we do another hour?
We've got Marco Miniman from Dream Theater.
The Aristocrats.
Yeah,
wow. He's coming on right now.
He's calling in, and then we have one of the great studios here. Roy Silverstein from Rarefied will be here talking about his studio. This has been the Changing Stage radio show powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks.
Yeah, baby.
The worldwide leader in internet.
And thank you, Mose.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. This has been very fun.
Yeah, we'll next time around, we'll have you come back in.
Appreciate it.
Make sure you check out California Music Studios at californiamusicstudios.com, SIR, and Pitbull Audio.
Pitbull, crank it up.
Stay tuned for the next show.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
The Aristocrats, featuring Guthrie Govan on guitar, Brian Beller on bass, and Marco Miniman on drums, are by any measure the hottest new band in instrumental rock fusion today. They rewrote their own rules for their third studio album, Tres Caballeros. It's available now, and the band is currently on tour selling out venues as they make their way to the UC San Diego Price Center Ballroom East on Friday, August 28th. Get your tickets now at www.ucsdboxoffice.com.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine, and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the Coaches Training Program, just call 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.